So in heterotrophic nutrition, first we have to understand about the definition. Okay. So as we had discussed earlier about heterotrophic nutrition means those organisms they do depends on other organism for their food. Okay, are called as heterotrophs, and the nutrition is called as heterotrophic nutrition. So heterotrophs is an are or is an organism that is unable to synthesize its own food because they do not have capacity to synthesize their own food like plant do. Okay, that's why they have to depend on other animals because they do not have any option. Okay, that's why they depends on other organism for their food. Okay, hence therefore they has depend on other sources, especially plant and animal matter. Okay, so other organisms like we are discussing about the heterotrophic nutrition, they directly or indirectly depend on the plant only. Okay, so these are nothing but the heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, they do depends on other organism for their food. So I'm going to write again the simpler definition for you so that you can understand. So organism which depends on other organism for their food, is called as heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so let's discuss about some important and key point about the heterotrophic nutrition. So all the animals and non-photosynthetic plants, see those plants like we have cuscuta, we have like fungus, they do not molds. Okay, so they do not produce their own food. Okay, that's why they have to depend on other like dead organic matter of plant and animals. Okay, and other animals they are nothing but the heterotrophs. Okay, so animals and non photosynthetic plants are classified heterotrophs since they are unable to prepare their food. Okay, so why this classification takes place? Because some animals they are autotrophs and some are heterotrophs, means capability and incapability of the producing their own food. On that basis we have divided organism into two categories. One is heterotroph and another is autotroph. So this organism resort the other various forms of nutrition. Hence from the ecological perspective heterotrophs are always secondary, okay, or tertiary consumer, okay, in our food chain. So they are generally consumers because they directly depend or indirectly depend on the plant only for their food. Okay, if we'll take example of the goat, it directly absorb or take food from the green plants. If we will discuss about the lion or tiger, when okay, it depends only on the organism like goat. Okay, but goat is depend on the plant. That's why they directly or indirectly all organism they depends on the green plants only. Okay, see next point we have humans. See humans are the omnivores. So omnivores are the organism they eat plant product as well as meat, egg, etc. Okay, that means they do depends on plant as well as on animals are called as omnivores. Okay, like human being they used to eat vegetable based food as well as the meat, chicken, egg, fish. Okay, they are organism based. Okay, they are organism based, that's why they are called as heterotrophs. Human and other vertebrates rely on the converting organic solid in and the liquid food into the energy. So like we human being and other vertebrates, they absorb, they take food in the form of solid or liquid state and they convert it into the energy. So final product is, for the tropical nutrition, like in order to produce energy only to survive the life. Okay, our main motto is of taking food is to produce energy only in order to survive or in order to sustain life. Okay, so main motto of nutrition is to provide such micro and macromolecules they are going to utilize, in our cell in order to form energy. Other organisms such as fungi, okay, they converts dead organic matter of the plant and animal into the simple nutrients which they get again absorbed by the plant. Okay, in essence, heterotrophs breaks down the complex food into the simpler one. Okay, so in digestion process, what happens at every step of the digestion, there is conversion of complex food material into the simpler form. So why we are breaking down the complex food into the simple one? Okay, because in order to absorb nutrients from the food, that's why if food becomes complex to the simpler form, okay, then the absorption of nutrition takes place very rapid. Okay, and more nutrients are being absorbed when the food get digested completely. Okay, so again, in order to absorb nutrients, food is being digested where complex food material is break down into the simpler form. Okay beta, any doubt till here?
No, sir.
Okay, so again I want you to take a screenshot. Just wait a second. No? Yeah, you can take a screenshot now. Done?
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay. So now we will discuss about the types of heterotropic nutrition. Okay. So on the basis of mode of nutrition, heterotropic nutrition again classified into three categories. Okay. We'll discuss in short today because we have 8 minutes left to complete our session. Then we'll discuss in next lecture about the holozoic nutrition in detail. Okay. So the holozoic nutrition is nothing but the involvement of the food digestion of food. See, first in nutrient process, intake of food takes place. Intake of food. After intake of food, food have to be digested. So next process will be digestion. After digestion of food, absorption of nutrition has to be takes place. So next step will be absorption of nutrition. Nutrients. Okay, absorption of nutrients. And after absorption of nutrients, that nutrients have to be transported to various part of the body in order to produce energy and other required micro and macromolecules by the body itself. Okay, so this process is called as assimilation. Is nothing but the utilization of the nutrients in our body. Okay, and after assimilation, waste product is formed. Okay, when there is energy production in our cell, then there is waste product is formed, and that waste product have to be removed out from the body. Okay, this process is nothing but excretion. It's called as excretion. So these are the five main stages. Number 1, 2, 3 is absorption of nutrition, 4 is assimilation, and 5th is excretion. Okay, so all these are the processes that comes under the holozoic nutrition. Okay, starting from the amoeba to the human being, all the unicellular, multicellular organism, they perform the nutrient process in the same way only. Okay, but in case of like a single cellular organism like amoeba, there the process will be the simpler. But in case of human being, whale, fish, and higher animals, there the process becomes very complex. Okay, then we have saprophytic nutrition. So saprophytic nutrition means like those organisms that depends on the dead organic matter of the plant and animal are called as saprophytes. Okay, means they feed upon the dead organic matter of plant and animal. Okay, and they decay and decompose that particular organic matter into the simpler form in order to convert them into the simpler form, so that plant, they are going to reabsorb that nutrition in the next cycle. Okay, then we have parasitic nutrition. So parasitic nutrition, where, see, suppose if we'll take example of the head louse. See, let me show you the picture. We will discuss one by one each. Okay, see, these are the parasites. These are in case of organism, and these are in case of the plant. Okay, so this, that yellow pink color plant which is grow on another plant is called as cuscuta. Is called as cuscuta, and which have capacity to absorb nutrition from the host plant. Okay, so in case of plant as well as in case of animal, in case of animal we have divided the parasitic nutrition into two categories. One is endoparasite and another is ectoparasite. Ectoparasite and endoparasite. Ectoparasite means those organisms, they depends on other organism and get nutrition from the host body. Okay, are called as ectoparasite. Like if we discuss about the mosquito, it is a parasite. Okay, leech, it is a parasite, because mosquito, female anopheles mosquito, which depends on the blood of the animal, even in case of human being also. Okay, so that female anopheles mosquito required more energy in order to lay the egg. Okay, that's why it absorbs, sucks the blood from the organism animal. Okay, because blood is the very energy rich molecule from them, for them. Okay, then we have leech. Leech is generally grow in fresh water, fresh and dirt water. Okay, where it suck the blood of any organism comes there. Okay, and if we'll discuss about this picture, it is a leech, and these are the different organisms that grow outside the body of the organism, even in the skin also. Okay, so these are example of the ectoparasite, because they present outside the body, or we can say on the surface of the body. Okay, but if we discuss about the tapeworm, we have roundworm, Nereis. Okay, we have one more called liver flux. Okay, so these organisms, they grow inside the body, like in small intestine, in large intestine. Okay, and they harm to the host body. Okay, so they present inside the body, that's what they are called as endoparasites. They are called as endoparasites. So on the basis of their mode of nutrition, whether they are outside the body or inside the body, they are categorized into two categories called ectoparasite and endoparasites. Okay, beta, any doubt till here?
No, sir.
Okay, so in next lecture we are going to discuss about the holozoic nutrition. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, beta. So have a nice time. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye, beta.